Okay, welcome back. This is scenario number 4 of the EARTH-ROMULAN War. This one's called Attack on Kahless. So we have these rather gorgeous cards designed by our very own Typhoon.
Yep.
So we will make these available before the event so that you can have your own Kahless cards for this one. But the game will mostly play out like your standard attack wing game, but you do have a completely different objective. So, in the interests of setup, we will basically just place our debris, space stations, planets, etc., as we would normal, based on initiative.
So
So,
this is the planet exchange scenario that we normally use. So Nick had initiative, so he first decides whether to put a planet or objectives down. He chooses planet, or sorry, obstacles, and I'll just pick up some obstacles here. It doesn't really matter. Actually, uh, you can put as many of each type down as you want, as long as you only put 3 total. So I can put down 2 asteroid fields in a space station. So yeah, that part's normal, and the setup of ships is also normal. So we'll just do that. But this one is loosely based on one of the actual OPs called Attack on Gowron, but we made it a little different here, where this is another one where it doesn't really matter how many points of opposing ships you kill. That's not the purpose of the game. The purpose of the game is to be the first one to destroy the Kahless clone on the other fleet. So, uh, Nick, you've got the cards there. Is that right?
that's
Are
right,
you
yeah.
zoomed in on it?
So, you get the. So, depending on how many ships you've got, you want one true Kahless card for one of your ships, and then the remaining ships all need a Kahless, not Kahless card, as we call it. So once you've got those, you want to stick them in a deck. So in this case, I know I've got 5 here. So I've got one Kahless card in there and 4 not Kahless cards because I have 5 ships. I will then put.
Whereas I have 3 ships, so I have one true Kahless card, and the remainder 2 is my not Kahlesses.
Yeah.
So, and the key here is round 1 planning phase. You're setting your dials, but you're also choosing which of your ships has the true Kahless on it,
Yeah.
and which ones are just decoys.
So
So,
in your little hidden box down here, what you might want to do is just make sure you identify which card is your true Kahless card. And then what you might want to do is bring them out, and let's put Kahless on that ship. There we go. All my Kahless cards are assigned.
okay, my Kahless cards are also assigned. We'll pretend I set my dials as well.
Yeah. So
Still,
we move.
once, sure.
Yep, we move forwards into some combat. So I've got my Airy classes over here. My Prometheus class is here. And okay, so we're into some combat now. Let's say for example, your Laris kills my USS Sabre.
Okay,
So,
sounds good.
boom. So as soon as I have died, I am now obliged to reveal whether or not my Sabre class was holding the true Kahless. And in this particular case, I will flip it,
Oh,
and it was not.
it was a not Kahless. So basically, no real penalty to your ship for having died, other than it can't run around doing stuff anymore.
Yep,
The score is still basically 0-0,
yep.
and we keep going.
And my Prometheus class takes out your Soterus.
Uh-oh. So the Soterus dies. My Soterus is ship there. The clone is on another ship. Sorry.
Oh dear. And again, play would continue. So, in the interest of time, let's say my super uber powerful Airy class takes
Okay.
out
This one.
Larus.
Yep. We will flip Laris, and it was my true Kahless.
And that
So
is an automatic.
that,
Well, that's a victory for me.
yep. So
Uh,
that's 4 points for you. With the only thing being, if I still had some ships available to shoot at the same captain skill, they would still get their simultaneous attack. So it's very similar to the regular game. You're destroyed, and in this case, the game is almost over, but you can still carry out those last few attacks just in case.
so let's again assume that we've got simultaneous fire. Your Larus then takes out my Prometheus, but unfortunately, it does have the Kahless card on.
Good,
So what
good.
do we do in
Something
the
you
case of a
forgot.
draw?
In that case, it's a tie.
Okay. And scoring wise, both get, was it 2
I think,
faction points each?
I think it's 0-0. It doesn't really matter for the
0 to
overall
0, is it?
score. Yeah.
Okay. I suppose we should mention about the ability to beam Kahless over to other ships.
Oh yeah, yeah, that would have been good.
So something you can do, which I think is a really, really cool addition, is that you can actually let's say my Prometheus is on its last legs. I know it's going to die in the next round, and I happen to know that my Kahless is on it, and I've got a little Airy class over here. Did we say range 1 or range 2? I forget.
That's a good point.
Range 2. So range 1 to 2.
Range 2.
So you may target a friendly ship at range 1 to 2, and that is not cloaked. So that's another thing you've got to worry about. You drop all remaining shields.
Ships.
I think we had decided that it was going to be drop the shields on the ship that's doing the transferring, not both ships. Is that right?
No, we went with each ship.
Okay.
We never decided to change that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So both shields will drop for the Prometheus and for the Airy class. And then what I would do is, let's say it's this Airy class here, I will just swap those two around. And now I know that my true Kahless has now been transferred over to the ship with John Harriman on, Mr. Tuesday, Captain Tuesday. And then my Prometheus dies next turn, but my Airy class lives to fight another day by sneaking around the planet.
Right. And so it says drop all remaining shields. That's something you're allowed to do even if you're down to 0 shields, because 0 counts as all. So it's not like you have to have shields in order to do this thing. But yeah, and throughout that exchange, the cards stayed revealed. So it would be a question for me of, is he acting like he just got rid of Kahless, but in fact he just got Kahless? You have to figure out the mind game there.
So yeah, let's pretend for a second that my Airy class has Kahless on, for example. I might choose to do the transfer over to the Prometheus that's on its last legs, and you might think, well, I don't need to shoot Prometheus anymore because he's now just taken his Kahless off of it, when in fact I might have done the other thing. So I'm really looking forward to seeing someone do a Kahless fake out. I'm really hoping that happens in this event. So I just wanted to clarify. So when do the shields come back up?
Yeah, so the only times that shields get raised is in the end phase. So it's similar to if you have dropped your shields to cloak, and then something causes one shield to go up or something. You don't magically get your shields back just because you've decloaked, and you don't. There's no immediate time where those shields will go back up. The only time they can go back up is in the end phase. So it is an act of desperation to do this, because you are. I mean, you can't do it if you're cloaked, first of all, but also, it kind of leaves you more defenseless. So you won't get that protection until the end phase. So you're going to survive a combat phase.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, another nice and simple one, but I think we'll see a lot of really good tactics on this one because it's not about destroying your entire opponent's fleet. You can win it by literally killing just one ship.
Right.
But it'll be interesting to see, do people fly Kahless deliberately away from everyone else's ships, or do they fly straight into an armada as a diversion?
And the mind games of where you put Kahless in the first place, yeah, I really don't know.
Yeah.
It will be in the planning phase of round one, so you will know where ships are and where the opposing ships are at the time you choose your Kahless deployment.
Okay.
And there's no way to manipulate the Kahless cards other than that action we saw to switch them. You can't use other upgrades or something to do stuff to them.
That's right. Yeah, it's not a crew on your ship or an upgrade of any kind. So.
Yeah, that's right.
Perfect. Right, that's scenario number 4. So we will see you in scenario number 5.